Hi everyone, my name is Sabrina Zeidan. We're here at WordCamp Brighton, and I have here Maziar Firuzmand from Artbees, the company behind popular WordPress theme called Jupiter X. Hello, it's nice to meet you here at WordCamp Brighton. I'm really honored to have you here.
Likewise, Sabrina, and hello to your audience. It's a pleasure being part of this interview, and I hope it's going to be useful for your audience.
Oh, thank you. So you're a CMO and co-founder of Artbees.
That's right.
And now your flagman theme has 120,000 sales on ThemeForest. Is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah. So what is the story behind the theme?
So before starting the story behind the theme, it may be better to talk about the story behind the team.
Right.
Not the theme, but the team behind the team. So the team behind the theme is comprised of 3 members, 3 co-founders, me, my brother, which is the CEO, and my very close friend, Bobek, who is our CTO. So we met in Iran back in 2009, but there was just nothing. It was just an idea in my head, and this cloudy spring afternoon back in time in Tehran, I was working for good companies, me and my brother both. He was a cartoonist and graphic designer, and I was a part-time icon and UI designer and a theater actor. For your info, which is like not much have in common. However, I believe they have stuff in common. So that afternoon, I happened to see a website called Graphic River, which is a part of the Elementor marketplace where people are selling graphic assets.
Yeah.
So my brother was also a graphic designer, so I just talked to him about it. Said, "Hey, this is a thing," and we did this. So we said, "What's next? What can be more relevant to us than just sitting and preparing graphic assets? We are web designers at the same time. So is there any similar thing for websites or website design, maybe templates or something?" And then we got to know ThemeForest, where the same concept is happening for WordPress themes. That was where we actually got to know WordPress. And that was the beginning up to this very day in Brighton.
But how large the team is now?
So the team is 23 people now, 8 people in Istanbul office right now, and
the other parts
the other parts are distributed in different countries and like.
Is it still design-oriented team?
Design-oriented, yes. And one of the reasons it was actually, was successful at the beginning, because while working in ThemeForest or any other marketplace, there is this moment of, starting the product, which sets the fate of the product. If you have a successful launch, there's a higher chance of you actually continuing with prosperity. And just because it had great design, factors, it was very visually appealing because designers were behind it. It was, picked up well with the community in the marketplace, and that's why Jupiter is kind of a design-oriented team.
Back in the time when you were launching, were you thinking about product market fit, about your ideal customer, or it was just what appealed to your heart and you were doing what you just wanted to do?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So I'm going to start the answer by why we did this. We were not looking for money. However, money is always a factor in business. The main reason behind starting this business was us being tired of working with clients or employers that do not know much about what they do. Mm-hmm. They're there for money. Mm-hmm. And also we saw the problems happening, the wastes that are happening when you try to deliver a website to a client, there is an agency, the middleman or something, that they intervene with the process.
Yeah, and you got to start each time from scratch.
Exactly.
Same thing.
The same thing is actually experienced every time. So we said, why not we just prepare what we think is the right solution for the website and just directly hand it over to the end user. You know, the people who are using ThemeForest and buying from ThemeForest are actually either end users or freelancers and agencies.
Right.
And we said, if we want to deliver this product to end user back in time, ThemeForest is a good platform.
Mm-hmm.
People just can buy it and set up their website and use it. But then ThemeForest grew and grew and grew up to where it is now, and agencies and freelancers and web designers got into it as well. So we have prolific kind of, you know, market and customer types working with Jupiter right now. But the very beginning, in response to your question, was the end users, people who just want something to quickly grab and tweak a little and get started with their websites.
Right. ThemeForest, is it still your main acquisition channel? Oh no.
Yes.
It
is because ThemeForest is actually maybe the strongest and most powerful in terms of search engine ranking and you know, in ThemeForest, in WordPress themes niche, maybe the biggest in the world right now. And we really took advantage. We were lucky to work with ThemeForest to take advantage of that, you know, that ranking. But we have done our own homework as well these years. We have been among very few, you know, team developers in ThemeForest that we actually do marketing all by ourselves. Because while working in a marketplace, authors typically just entirely rely on what they do. Okay, ThemeForest is a great Alexa ranking and search engine result ranking, so why I should invest anything for marketing or search engine optimization? But we didn't do this because we wanted to have our own channels of acquiring customers. So yeah, right now the primary channel is ThemeForest, but we have a different website, not the demo website that is attached to our ThemeForest profile. We have a different website called teams.artbees.net where we get organic traffic results from Google and turn them into customers and send them to ThemeForest without ThemeForest engaging in it at all. So it's like an entirely independent sales funnel for us.
It's about 500,000 visits per month.
Yeah.
Most of them that come from Google, they are just direct asking for Jupiter X or Artbees. So people want nothing else but you. So they already get to know about you and searching for it. What kind of content you provide on the website to turn visitors into customers?
Depends on the kind of person that ends up in your website.
Mm-hmm.
If they are people who know WordPress, who know WordPress trends, who know WordPress themes, ThemeForest, or other theme markets, they are the different kind of visitor than someone who is just looking for a solution to build a website. So if there is this persona X, the visitor X who is a housewife, which plans to start a cafe or local business and knows that she should run a website as well for his business, she is a different visitor. She's a different, customer type than someone who's running an agency and looks for a go-to theme to rely to in his web design business. So you have to find a balance, and you have to make sure you provide content adequately written and prepared for all of these customer types. And that's what's being done in our blog. In our blog, we try to provide content for different kind of people and make it useful for everyone. especially right now, we have two different kind of the biggest or the top customer types that we have is free users and paid users.
Right.
Because Jupiter X, after what happened last year, December, like we talked, we not only just revamped Jupiter after years of evolution and improvement, we revamped it entirely and rebranded it under Jupiter X, which introduced Elementor as a new page builder and then revamped and reconfigured code base. But also, license-wise, we did a very, very scary and risky. We took a very risky step, and we went full GPL because Themes and ThemeForest are not full GPL; they're split GPL. So we wanted to become a closer part of WordPress community, not just a seller in the marketplace.
Right.
So we went full GPL so we can engage as a sponsor, as a speaker in WordCamp events. And since then we have, and when we went GPL, we changed the business model into freemium.
Mm-hmm.
So you can download the free version from our own website, and very soon from WordPress repository. It's an operable state right now. You can download the free version and start building a website without nothing in for free. And then if you want more advanced options, you can then go and buy from ThemeForest for a fee. So we have two different chunks of customers, users, free users and paid users. And we have to make sure that our newsletter serves them both, our blog serves them both, and everything is set accordingly.
But your target market, is it US?
It is. The biggest market for Jupiter X is US. United States has 30% of our customers. And the second is Germany.
Germany?
Hello to Germany from here. And then this is Spain, and then Canada, and then France, and then some other countries.
And Brazil, isn't it?
Yeah, Brazil goes to spot 6 or 7. And yeah.
India, Italy?
India, Italy, they actually change positions from time to time, from quarter to quarter.
Right, but this is it looks for me kind of random countries.
Yeah.
Did you promote yourself in those countries, or how it happened that you have like US market and Germany, India, Brazil?
Yeah, I actually think this is like how it works for theme marketplaces.
Mm-hmm.
I think US is basically the biggest market for theme marketplaces.
Mm-hmm.
That's my assumption. But we haven't done anything particular to promote ourselves in any of these countries. We run campaigns, we do promotional activities, marketing activities of different kinds, but whatever demographic model that you can see right now is not a result of our activities. It's the organic reaction of the market to the product and theme marketplaces.
Yeah, right. But except the selling the theme on ThemeForest, there is another channel of revenue for you, right? There is customizations for the theme, right?
Yeah, we have. We can say the primary channel of revenue stream is from ThemeForest. We have other services that are like side channels for us, like customization services called Artbees Care, where we modify our themes based on custom requirements of our customers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. So going back to the product market fit, I know that you're a huge fan of lean methodology, so
Okay.
am I. Yeah. So how do you hold those tests to take decisions like these, to change your politics completely? How do you make those decisions?
Great question. Actually, lean methodology was like a brand new horizon for me and my company, our company. So, especially in the last 1 year, we have, just like we revamped our licensing, the code base, the builder, everything, also our workflow has changed a lot, not just technical workflow, DevOps, and whatever happens in development side, but also decision making, product development, product design, marketing. All these things are stuff that are being done in a what they call waterfall model within a waterfall workflow, which is I'm the boss, I make decision, and I tell the person lower in the hierarchy, and then they have to do this, and then come back to me and let me know about the results. This is what's called waterfall, which is like this hierarchical structure. So we wanted to change this towards a more open, democratic, and with a more promising future. Because when you just take a decision right off nothing, it's a one person, thinking, ideas, concepts, culture, and ambitions, and everything behind it. Only one person. But when you make this democratic and make it a combination of different people's concepts and ideas, there's a higher chance. There's a less chance of failure because it's a product of different perspectives, different people's perspectives, experiences, and stuff. So we wanted to change this, and that was when we got to know Lean methodology. It actually tells you that you should not, invent features, add features by your guts. Okay, you have to first of all make a research, do your homework, and understand why you wanted this. Why you want to give this feature for your product. Who wants it? How big of a chunk of users want it? And is it really crucial to your team, to your product, or not? And this only comes after a deep research, deep experimentation, looking at the analytics. And once you do all these things and you make sure with the feature, you are sure with the feature, then you have to just give it for a specific amount of your users. And then see about the feedback. If the feedback is positive, it means you can continue and give it to and roll it out for the other parts of your customers.
Is this what you are doing? You try the new features on a small amount of your audience, right?
Yeah, we had obstacles though, because we were working in the marketplace and we are in a SaaS service, so we don't have sandboxes. We have just an opportunity to upload a package to our account in ThemeForest. But we had some problems, actually, some limits, some restrictions in that regard. But we got to find workarounds for this. However, it's not 100% and entirely lean right now in the way I just described. But we have done this in our demos. For example, different kind of experimentation that is part of lean methodology. For example, this smoke screen experiment that you just show some features in your demo, and people think, for only a fraction of your visitors, and they think that it exists, it is actually available in your product. And then you ask about their feedback about that feature, and you see if they are up for it, if they like it. If they like it, it means that you really can work on it and implement it inside the product.
Very interesting. This is how you implemented these into development.
This is one of the methods. So different ways to experiment the interest and the possible, the potential in a possible feature before you actually work it out. Work on it and give it and add it to your product. So we do all this, make sure if a feature first is necessary and crucial, not just by our whatever preferences as a designer or co-founder, but also what really is wanted by the customers in the market. And then give it away, put it inside the product in a limited scale, and then persevere or pivot based on the feedback of that limited chunk, the small chunk. If it's positive, you continue and make it bigger and roll it out for everyone, or you just forget about it and put it in the trash and work on something else.
Can you remember something that you implemented and then you have to take it away because it wasn't successful at all?
Absolutely. Yeah, we actually did give a very integral part of the visual builder, page builder called header builder, which was written from ground up by our own in-house developers. And it was a waste of a lot of manpower and money, time, and everything. It was a bad decision. It was not done after required amount of research, and it was just a decision made by the stakeholders. So it ended up in a trash can. So it's very, very likely if you don't do this and you don't involve analytics and these kind of researches in product design, it's very possible that you end up in these situations.
And can you remember any really nice features that were suggested by existing customers, by customer support or something? What was that?
In Jupiter version 6, when we released it 2 years ago, I have also a video for that, a presentational video for that I did myself. So somebody, maybe they will see this video, and I appreciated that comment right here. So somebody came and commented, you guys should move to Elementor. So it wasn't that he triggered this idea, but I don't know, right after that comment, it was like it has its own magical power that helped us made our mind, and we do this big movement to migrate from VB to Elementor. And also when we run surveys, we hold surveys from time to time, like almost once a year. There's a lot of constructive feedback that we get. And we also have a blog where we interview our loyal customers who have about 100 times. And they're running their business, they're running an agency with Jupiter. And we interview with them privately or as part of our Artbees blog, and they provide valuable insights, valuable feedback about the way forward, and we understand what has been a waste, whatever we did for product development in the past years, and they actually help us improve or disprove. We understand our mistakes and we make our mind for the way forward.
So you just moved to Elementor last December 2018, right? So, and I've seen huge spike in Google Trends for Jupiter X. Was there any support from Elementor community for the theme?
Yeah, great folks in Elementor team. They have been very supportive, and they were actually did all the collaboration with us to implement Elementor X at Jupiter X. We have been to a couple of WordCamps together, great guys, especially Ben from Elementor team. We actually interviewed, I was part of the interview with Ben Pines from Elementor team, their podcast, and they have specifically also helped us by featuring Jupiter X in their blog and also the compatible themes with their builder. So yeah, they have been very helpful and very supportive of Jupiter X. I
can't help asking about this. So what is the future of Jupiter X considering Gutenberg?
Well, I talked about Gutenberg when it was out last year, I guess December 2018. And there was a lot of controversy and different kind of reactions to it, positive, negative. Mine was very positive, and it's actually Artbees' official reaction to that as a team company is positive, whereas it shouldn't be because some people say it's a threat to the theme market. But I don't think like that. The reason that I looked always forward to it, is that a strong and solid foundational builder, a native builder for WordPress is good because it raises the bar of competition. There was a problem in theme market and plugin market, which was being flooded with products. Some people who were not
different quality.
Yeah, some people who were not very much expert, a developer and a business owner, they might be able to, separate the right from wrong and find what they want. But an end user who just wants to build a website is just faced with a lot of solutions. This builder, that plugin, this service, the other marketplace, different marketplaces. So when WordPress did this and introduced this new Gutenberg as a native page builder, a lot of these things, these products that are just born, developed with like least amount of efforts and manpower, and they're just there to like work and earn a little money and then abandon their customers after a while.
Yeah.
They will go away, and that's a good thing. And the only solid products will remain in the competition, and you have to make sure that you have something to add to what is already offered by Gutenberg.
You mentioned that you've been to a few WordCamps before, and you started sponsoring really actively last 2 years, am I right?
Yeah.
So it was, I suppose, WordCamp Thessaloniki, WordCamp London, now WordCamp Europe, just in Berlin, right?
Yeah.
So do you see any benefits from sponsoring WordCamps? Or it's all about public relations mostly?
Absolutely. The short answer is absolutely. For everyone who is living and breathing in WordPress sphere, it's a must-do. But you have to also be very aware of what is expecting and how you should set your expectation when sponsoring an event like WordCamp. First of all, you have to go full GPL. For those of you, your audience who don't know, in order to become a speaker or a sponsor in WordCamp, you have to go full GPL, and that's because WordPress expects you to give the same freedom that WordPress does give to you. You do the same to your users.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing you should do. The second thing is that you should not expect immediate rewarding results.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm putting a stand in the corner, a few blocks away, and I sell more hot dogs than when I'm selling only inside my store in the same area. That's a different thing. Taking part in any event, a public event, especially WordCamp, is more of a long-term investment than short-term investment. And the thing is that the first thing that you will get, the most important thing that you get from sponsoring WordCamps is not sales or more conversions, is building more relationships and getting into the community. Because people who hang out in WordCamps, some of them are end users who are looking for solutions for their product or website or agency or whatever. But the big chunk of it are people who actually consider different options only after they got enough trust and they got enough insight over the company behind it. And that's where WordCamp comes very handy. That gives you an opportunity to see people in person and talk to them in person, and the power of talking to someone in person about anything is irreplaceable. You cannot trade it off with Google Ads, a banner in the next web or Mashable. It's unrivaled. So WordCamp is absolutely a great investment as a sponsor if you want to take part. And even if not a sponsor, you can take part as an attendee, contribute to it as a volunteer or a contributor. There's a lot of potential for everyone in different statuses who, like I said, lives and breathes in WordPress sphere. So this is it. This is the thing that you cannot find in events like money-making events, like the Next Web or Web Summit. Okay, these are not events backed by a community. Stuff that happens inside WordPress is like it's a family. It comes with the culture, and that culture is valuable. That's the biggest thing we have earned and we want to preserve. So future products, if or if not related to WordPress, we will always do whatever we can to contribute to WordPress and keep our tight connections with WordPress family and community.
Oh, that's so nice to hear, because I remember with WordPress as well,
Yeah.
Maziar, thank you very much for taking your time to being here to share what you have to share with us. Thank you very much. It was my pleasure to have you here.
Likewise, it was a great pleasure to be part of this interview, and I wish you and your audience the best coming your way.